Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan, how are you? It is late night on a Monday, here to discuss Miami Dolphins 23-17 loss to the Chargers of Los Angeles. Before I get started, you do like the content of this particular video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up, that would be awesome. Feel free to subscribe as well to my channel. Let's get started. This was one where I was a little concerned going in, and the reason behind that was this. You mix together the formula of 6-6 team in the Chargers, obviously needing a win, still alive at home on a Sunday night. You know they're going to be bringing their A game, which they did. Jumped out to a 17-7 lead. This game was actually a little bit more about the Chargers, even though I'm here to talk about the Dolphins. It was really, the game itself was a little bit more about the Chargers stepping up than it was the Dolphins, shall we say, stepping down, although there was a little bit of that, which we're going to get into here. Dolphins now find themselves at 8-5 with the loss, staring at a road game Saturday night in Buffalo against the Bills. Chargers improved to 7-6, still very much alive in the AFC playoff picture. So let's get this started. Tua was obviously the big story in the first half, especially for the wrong reasons. He would finish the game 10 out of 28. I can't believe I actually just said that, but completed just better than 1 out of 3 of his passes, 145 yards. Did not throw an interception, but that's one good thing, I guess you could say. And he did throw a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Now, Tua has obviously been off the last few games. He's missed throws in the game against San Francisco and the game Sunday night against the Chargers that we simply did not see him miss as much or as often the first 11 games of the season. I know he did miss, obviously, a few of those 11 games earlier. But it is a concern, and I'm going to just leave it at that. It's a concern. We have to keep an eye on it. I'm going to leave it at that. Tua has played better this year. He's improved. He's not an MVP candidate or anything like that. This is, and I respect Tua. I like what he's done for this team. But let's be honest, guys. This is Tyreek Hill's team. This team is centered around Tyreek Hill. I am fully convinced of that. Not only that, I'll even take it a step further. You take last year's coaching staff with Tyreek Hill on a team that finished 8-9. That's a better than 8-9 team last year, absolutely, positively, with pretty much the same roster and Tyreek Hill. As a matter of fact, I'll go as far as to say last year's coaching staff would have this team right at about 8-5 after 13 games with Tyreek Hill. It's not a put down to the current coaching staff at all. I think last night's loss, 23-17, of course. I'll say it once again. That's the last time I'll say that, I promise. I don't want to keep saying that score because the Dolphins lost. But last night's loss was really on the players. This was not on the coaches. This was on the players. Lack of execution. Very frustrating. I was very frustrated, I should say, a few times with the offensive line and their non-existent run blocking on especially on a few carries by Raheem Mostert, who incredibly would finish the game with 37 yards rushing on 11 carries, which is very impressive considering he got stuffed at least twice. He had a battle for like 2-3 yard gains on a few other carries. That in itself was impressive. Jeff Wilson would only have 4 carries, but he made the most of it, 26 yards. So you take Wilson and Raheem, if you combine them, they were actually respectable. I think that's a credit to those two running backs, really. 15 carries, right around right around 63 yards. Gets you a little over 4 yards a carry. Tua helped the running efforts, 3 carries, 28 yards. Salvon Ahmed had a carry for a yard. Tyreek was held in check, but I mean, the guy's amazing. I mean, he picks up the fumble, which doesn't really show up in the regular box score or things that I would normally talk about. Picks up the fumble, runs it all the way in for a touchdown, and then he scores the other touchdown via a touchdown reception. He finished with 81 yards on 4 catches. Jalen Waddle struggles, second game in a row, 2 catches, 31 yards. So is this a new strategy? We're going to take away Waddle. I don't know. I mean, you tell me, guys. What's going on here? Wilson out of the backfield, 2 for 19. Mostert out of the backfield, 1 for 7. Trent Sherfield was held in check. He's been coming on strong lately, 1 for 7 as well. I was impressed. There's one bright spot, though. Christian Wilkins on the defensive side of the ball was real. I mean, they were loving him on the TV broadcast, national TV broadcast. I agree. I mean, he definitely earned all compliments that he received by the broadcasting team there on Sunday Night Football. Christian Wilkins was all over the field. He's making big plays, had 6 solo tackles. Credit to him. Chargers, guys. Chargers were just they were playing with purpose. You can tell they were very decisive out there. Not just Herbert, although he was the leader in decisiveness. 39 of 51 for 367 and a touchdown. No interceptions. Austin Ekeler would have 45 yards rushing and a touchdown. He added 59 on 8 receptions receiving. So we add all that up. He's over 100 yards, guys. He's right around 104 total yards. Joshua Kelly would have 29 yards rushing on only 4 carries. Herbert added 4 for 8. Chargers really, when you look at Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, they both had nice games. Keenan Allen had 12 receptions, 92 yards. Mike Williams went 6 for 116 and a touchdown. Joshua Palmer, 4 catches, 53 yards. Chargers, I mean, they played better last night than they pretty much have. You look at their average performance throughout the year, at least when I've seen them, they were not as good as they were on Sunday night. So this might be the beginning of better things for a Charger team moving into their last 4 games of the season. Gerald Everett had 5 catches, 28 yards. Stone Smart, 1 for 8. Kelly out of the backfield, 1 for 6. Trey McKitty, 1 for 5. DeAndre Carter had a catch for no receiving yards, however, on that one catch. One thing I can't figure out, you guys watched my videos before, I've said it once, I'll say it again, I just can't understand, I don't get it at all, why Mike Gesicki continues to disappear in the passing attack. I just don't, I can't grasp it, I don't get it. And we didn't have, it's not even like the other tight ends, like I don't see Durham Smythe, didn't see much of him. Why we're not involving the tight ends anymore? What's going on here? I don't understand it. I mean, I know Tua only completed 10 passes, but especially if he's struggling, shouldn't we get a little Gesicki going over the middle or something like that? I'll say it again. I can't grasp. And it was like this last year. This is with a whole different coaching staff. He's had big games before, but he just disappears now for a couple of games, many games. Frustrating, guys. It's frustrating. So cheer the Dolphins on. Big game Saturday night. This is going to be big. I'll be back here on Sunday. We'll talk about it. These night games, ending a little too late. I got to work in the morning, but not on Sunday. So I'll come back Sunday. We'll talk about Bills Dolphins. Rough one, second loss in a row. Dolphins now 0-2 in December. We've seen, I hate to say this, I have to bring it up though. We've seen this movie before. Good season, high hopes, high expectations. The calendar turns to December and it just starts going downhill. Is it the missed field goal or the penalty that shouldn't have been a penalty? Or the missed block, or the turnover that should never have happened. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm getting to the point where I can't even analyze what happens to this team in December, or or even try to rationalize it. We we got to just watch the games. All right, have fun Saturday. Watch the Dolphins. We'll talk again Sunday. That'll be the 18th of December. Go Dolphins. Bye for now.